Trans Jamaica Highway. Why would I want to talk about Trans Jamaica Highway this morning? There are many good reasons. As a good steward, I find it necessary at times to talk about possible investments. Trans Jamaica Highway, most of you will know what it's all about. Those of you who do not know, let me just spend a minute telling you what it is. No, they have built some very good highways in Jamaica. This section, the Trans Jamaica Highway, they're building up, still building. They have one leg that they're not even charging tolls as yet. But when you get in the highway, once upon a time, it would take us a good length of time to go through Old Harbor and such places to get to Kingston. Now we're getting to Kingston 1 hour or under 1 hour from Mandeville to Kingston. And then there's from Kingston to nearly going into Morant Bay, Trans Jamaica Highway, built by some companies and the government. They would have been holding about 20%, I understand. And by the way, let me tell you, I'm not talking to you as a licensed broker or financial advisor. I'm talking to you as a good steward observer. Yes, so the government decided that they're going to sell off their portion, as it were, privatizing. Now, I use that word carefully because in England, there was a period of time when, let everybody say it's Mrs. Thatcher was privatizing much of what was government properties, as it were, the British Telecom, British Gas, and some other bits and pieces. I observe carefully that this would be good investments for people who want to invest. All those who are encouraged then to invest, and they took my advice. One of my elders, almost up until the point of his death about 2 or 3 years ago, he would always remind me that this was one of the most important, the most profitable investment he made in his lifetime. Investment. Woman in the church, she took my advice. She's got a twinkle in her eyes. And when she's talking to you, she talks with passion and with enthusiasm. You enjoy talking with her. And she would tell me that it was outstanding. And she would be watching later on when other privatization was taking place. I don't have to call her up. She's calling me up and telling me that, Pastor, this one is coming up and it might be good. Let's go. And we did. And we were blessed. Now, let me pause here to say to some people who doubt stocks and shares, in everything you do in life, there's a risk, and there is the possibility of making a profit or losing. In everything you do, and you can challenge me in that, and we will talk about it. Everything you do, there's a risk. So, what it is, when you buy shares in a company, It's as though you're buying a little part of the company. You do not have millions of dollars, millions of pounds, millions of euro to set up a company like that. But the owner of the company decided he's going to allow you to buy a little part of the company. For most company, you share in the profit. And as the company increase in value, your capital is increasing in value. But as we say, any company can go out of business. You tell me what you have done, and you have never made some losses and some things that you have gained. So it is right through life. So you buy a little bit into that company and you share capital growth or you share in dividends. That has helped a lot of people over the years. An associate that I was instructing as to how to invest stocks and shares came to me later on, the smile on his face, said, I have made money in shares. So I'm talking about good money. Now, some people, some good Christians say, we shouldn't talk about money and we shouldn't talk about profit and we shouldn't talk about prosperity. Well, I have gone through the Bible several times. I try to do my research carefully. I try to look at what is going on around me, and I discover that their views are not biblical. I discover that Jesus spent quite a lot of time talking about the investment world. You can jump to Matthew chapter 25 and talk about the talents. You can jump to to Luke chapter 16 and other places where Jesus spent the time talking or comparing investment with the kingdom of God. Yes, so back to our topic now, Trans Jamaica Highway. The government is selling off its 20% holding in the company. And all the analysts I've listened to, they seem to be recommending it as a good buy. It is now it will be about three is it what no $3.60 Jamaican money, $3.60. The government is selling their part for. In the regular sale of things, the share was about $3.90, so that's a discount. So as soon as you buy it, it should be profitable. So I'm not telling you to go and buy it, but if you have interest in investment, it's worthwhile considering. You know, I was traveling with a young friend, and as we ride along on the highway, he had to pay some toll at this point. And he get to a second point, and he paid some toll. And he get to another point, and he had to pay some money. And you could see the discomfort. So I turned to him and I said, now, when you pay all that money, do you get something from it? He said, no, well, how could I? I'm not getting anything out of it. I'm just spending my money to travel on the highway. Turned to him and I said, well, I'm getting something out of it. He said, what? Are you getting something out from it? I said, yes, because I have shares in the Trans Jamaica Highway. And so when you pay, I get something. He said, what? So I told him a little more. Whether he took my advice or not, I don't know. I haven't checked with him since then, but I hope he did. Trans Jamaica Highway seemed to be a very healthy venture. When they started off on this leg, the shares were, I think, $1 something. It jumped up, reached to a point of tumbling over $4. So that means that whatever money you put in at one stage, you would have doubled that already. We're not just here for money or to talk money, but money is a vital part of our existence. And those of you who are so Christian that you can't talk about money, never come around to me and or to those who will invest and ask for our money, for we cannot give money if we do not get money. So I don't want us to be comparing our present investment world with our future existence. Jesus made those comparisons for us already. I just want for us to look at the facts of life and be wise about what we do. And so the Trans Jamaica Highway seemed to be a good venture. It's one I would recommend. I'm not sending anybody to buy or to sell, but if you want to prosper a bit more materially, this seemed to be a good venture. It seemed to be a worthwhile project for you to involve yourself. So, Trans Jamaica Highway, right now, it's on the offering, and you give it some thought, check in with some financial advisor, hear what they have to say. I check with a few, and all they're telling me is that it looks good. And they always remind me that in every investment, there's a risk. And so it's the same thing I'm doing for those of my friends who want to start investment or who want to build up their portfolio a little more. Maybe those of you overseas, this will not benefit you so much, but there are good projects wherever you are. And so we can look at them as we go along. I'm trying to work on another channel to help us look at some of these things. But as we would say, be wise and prosper today. Your prosperity will help you materially, intellectually, socially, spiritually, and physically. And if you have gained some benefits from this, if you find it worthwhile, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I thank you for listening all the way through. See you in my next video.